had identified all Catholics when I chose people just based on how much they could demolish atheist arguments. So, but I thought all Christians were the same. I did not understand the difference between denominations. I was like, oh, all you guys are alike, you're all crazy. So I didn't understand. I didn't understand at all. So I went to my blog and I said, I've got some bad news for you guys. Your religion makes no sense. This thing of like, I pick up a Bible and I understand everything it says and I interpret it for myself. It requires literacy, it requires reading comprehension, it requires the printing press, it ends up with there being as many different opinions about who Jesus is as there are people. Your religion, guys, is kind of a disaster and it doesn't make sense. And I thought that their reaction was going to be, Jen, great points. Does anyone know where the nearest Buddhist temple is? You're just making some great, you're on fire, Jen. You're making great points. They came back and they said, what about this? They said, what if, just be open-minded for a minute. What if, before Jesus ascended to heaven, what if he founded a church? And what if it was just one church that he instilled with his own authority? What if he used really imperfect people, like his first followers, like the writers of the Bible? What if he used really imperfect people to speak perfect truth? And what if through this living church, he spoke the same truth for all times and all places? And what if he promised to instill it with his own authority and stay with it as a living church until the end of the age? And I said, yes, that makes so much sense. Yes, that explains how even people who are illiterate can come to know who Jesus is and what he stands for. Yes, that explains how someone has the authority, a God-given authority that comes from God, not from them, to say who Jesus Christ is and what he stands for in this earth. Yes, yes, yes. And they said, that's the Catholic Church. And I was like, no, not become Catholic. Everyone knows the Catholic Church is anti-woman, it's antiquated, like, not going to become Catholic. And I told Joe this. He was raised Southern Baptist. Right, okay, you guys were. He was raised Southern Baptist. And he knew I'd been blogging and talking to these people, and he was like, Jen, it's bad enough that you have been spending all this time talking to internet people. Now you're talking to Catholic internet people. This is like really getting out of control. And I said, Joe, because at this point he was interested and he was asking his own spiritual questions. I said, Joe, I don't think we have a choice. Because within modern Christianity, there is only one theory that even might make sense. I don't think we have a choice but to look into Catholicism. And so we did the craziest, most countercultural thing we've ever done. We actually looked at what the Catholic Church has to say for itself rather than relying on uninformed stereotypes. Thank you. Imagine that. The craziest thing you'll ever do. When we read the Catechism of the Catholic Church, when we read Aquinas, we read Augustine, we read the great doctors of the church, and we looked at even the hardest teachings. The ones, if we have any reverts in the house or converts, you know how sometimes you think, you're like, okay, I'll get into the Catholic stuff, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave like a couple of those things aside. Yeah, I'm not going to do those. Even the craziest teachings made so much sense when we actually read up on the hows and whys and the philosophy behind it. We asked every tough question and got a compelling answer in every single case.